Hello friends, and thanks for watching the YouTube channel for Fox 7 Austin. We're going to be on the lookout for some severe weather later on today. All the ingredients are slowly coming together for our first severe weather outbreak of the year. We're tracking this upper low that's pivoting out of far west Texas, and since we're due east of that low, we're going to have plenty of upper level energy, a lot of rising motion. So the atmosphere is energized, and we have plenty of fuel and energy available. So when those storms get going, they're going to turn severe in a hurry, and we have plenty of fuel like the moisture. We're just waiting for that spark, and it's going to come from the West Texas dry line. That's a boundary that basically separates the Gulf moisture from the dry air coming in from the Rockies. Acts like a mini front. It will initiate the rising motion, and then as that upper low comes across, it will accelerate that rising motion, and here's the result. A line of severe thunderstorms from San Antonio to Austin, Waco, and Dallas, and eventually that line will push into East Texas late tonight. For the rest of the morning hours going into the early afternoon hours, we're talking about on and off light rain. When's the main severe weather event going to occur? After 3 o'clock, and it will get going along Highway 281 from Burnet to Marble Falls, Johnson City, and Blanco. If this line starts a little farther to the west, it will move into the Austin Metro a little later. But right now, let's say right around 5, 6 o'clock, this is when we could see these individual supercells. Those are the kind of thunderstorms that will have powerful updrafts, a lot of rising motion in them to produce and enhance the large hail, and also produce some downburst winds, and even the possibility of some of these storms rotating that could spawn some renegade tornadoes. And this is 6, 7 o'clock, and the severe weather is still ongoing just east of Austin. This is horrible timing when everybody's trying to get home from work. So you may want to stay at the office a little bit longer today and let these storms pass before you venture out and get stuck in the traffic in I-35 and Mopac. Could you imagine getting stuck in traffic when you're dealing with possibly quarter to golf ball size hail? We'll see a lull in the action this evening, but then here comes a cold front that could ignite a few more showers over our eastern counties between midnight and sunrise. With this round, we're not expecting a whole lot of severe weather. Maybe a few lightning strikes, that's about it. And then we're back in that sunny and nice mode tomorrow. All right, much of the eastern half of the state under enhanced risk for severe weather. From San Antonio, Austin, Waco, Dallas, to Tyler, Nacogdoches, and Houston. Slight risk out across the western hill country. So the shade of orange, that's a level 3 when we're talking about severe weather. And this is why I'm concerned about some of these storms will begin to rotate and could produce some brief tornado touchdowns because the high-res model is showing some of these supercells. Right now it shows in western Travis County, central Hays County, a little spin up or two. Now, don't focus on the placement. Just look at the isolated nature of some of these storms that could produce some rotation that could eventually lead to some tornado formation. And the Storm Prediction Center is seeing the same thing we're seeing. And they're putting the highest risk for tornadoes at 10% from Austin eastward. Now, as the day goes along, we may be placed under a warning or watch. It's been a while since we've had severe weather here in Central Texas. So let's do a refresher here on the difference between a watch and a warning. For example, a tornado watch. That means conditions are favorable for thunderstorms that could eventually, not right now, but eventually produce some tornadoes. So be prepared. Start thinking about your safety plan. Make sure everybody in the house knows where to go immediately if there's a tornado threatening your neighborhood. If you hear tornado warning, that's when you need to take action and go to your safe place. And we don't have a lot of these, the tornado emergencies. Those happen up across the plains when you get those massive tornadoes. But it looks like our number one concern today with some of these supercells is the large hail potential. And you see the shade of red up and down the I-35 corridor. That shows the highest risk for hailers. Now, if it happens during the afternoon commute, this could be another very expensive March hailstorm. And the Storm Prediction Center has a high risk for large hail from Austin eastward. Now, it doesn't mean every inch of this area is going to see hail, but it has the highest probability of at least quarter to golf ball size hail. Enhanced risk for severe weather today, the first severe weather threat of the year, and a low to moderate risk for tornadoes, a high risk of damaging winds, at least 60 miles per hour. A high risk for large hail, quarter to golf ball size, that's 1 to 2 inches in diameter, and then a low risk for flooding because these storms aren't going to last too long. They could dump them a half an inch to 1 inch very quickly, and then the storms are out of here. So make sure you download our free Fox 7 weather app to get the latest alerts. Make sure your phone is fully charged because you may lose power if you're away from your TV. You have the WAP or you have the NOAA weather radio. If thunder roars, go indoors. Keep away from the windows if there's severe weather nearby. And then make sure you pick a tornado safe room in your home. So if you are placed under a tornado warning, you know what to do immediately. Bottom floor, away from windows, in an interior room. And make sure you take a helmet with you, a bike helmet or something like that, baseball helmet for the kids. And if you're driving, try to exit the roadway and park. Don't park underneath an overpass. I mean, that could be tempting when you have big chunks of ice falling from the sky. But if you park underneath there, traffic gets really backed up on the main highways, and you don't want to do that when there's severe weather moving across. Don't want the severe weather, but with drought getting worse and worse, we need the rain. And where we really need the rain out in the hill country, but the models aren't too optimistic about dropping a whole lot of rain out that way, maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch. It looks like we could pick up half an inch to 1 inch from I-35 and points eastward. But that's where we have the drought-free conditions, the severe to extreme drought out across the hill country. Again, thanks for watching today. Keep a close eye on the sky with that severe weather potential increasing later on today. Stay weather aware.